Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you to the Academy for organizing this very exciting conference on a very important topic that is linked with the main sustainability challenges that we are currently facing, including climate change, nature loss, and equality. So, Nestlé, as a leading nutrition, health, and wellness company, we are committed to playing our part to reduce food loss and waste across the entire value chain. And this not only helps us to secure the supply of the raw materials that we need to produce our product, but also have a positive impact on society by supporting rural development, water and nature conservation, and food security. Now, if I use the approach that we have been hearing yesterday from Target Measuring Act, it's clear we have an ambition to halve food loss and waste along our entire value chain. And indeed, our chairman is a member of the group Champions 2.3. More particularly, we have concrete targets in our operation to have zero waste for disposal by 2020 in all our sites. And also, more in the consumer side, we have a target to make data labels more understandable. Now, looking into the measurement, we have been measuring the waste, and including food waste, in our operation for years. What we did last year for the first time was to estimate how much food loss and waste was linked to Nestlé products along the entire value chain. So using data from FAO and from life cycle assessment models, we estimated that it's 12% of food loss and waste across the value chain, which is distributed, as you can see, equally upstream with a 4%, other 4% in our operation, and then another 4% in consumption. In gray are the figures estimated by the FAO as global average. Now, when it comes to the action, we have put in place a roadmap to really operationalize our ambition. And this includes three key parts. The first one is helping farmers to improve their livelihoods and also to increase efficiency. And we have been also discussing about the language of food loss and waste. That's why we talk much more about livelihood and efficiency rather than food loss and waste, because by talking like that, we can connect better with the farmers, and also we can connect better with our procurement teams. And here we have been looking not only on the volumes being lost, but looking from a nutritional and environmental perspective, really to identify our key focus commodities, which are fruits, vegetables, dairy, cereals, and milk. And in those, we have been fine-tuning our baselines and also to work with the suppliers and with the farmers to reduce the losses. Now, in the second pillar, when it comes to our operation, really here the focus is to get to zero food loss and waste, and also improving the demand and supply planning so we have no surplus. And another important topic here is really to engage with our employees. We have more than 300,000 employees, so imagine the impact that they can have, not only by reducing loss in their workplace, but also at home. And the third part is really inspiring family to reduce losses and waste, so inspiring them by providing them recipes on how to cook, how to use the leftover, and also to provide guidance on the different labels and what they mean. And across these three pillars, we are having innovation, collaboration and engagement, and partnership, which is one of the key and important areas that we have been discussing. Let me give you some concrete examples. So this is what I was referring about, using the environmental and nutritional lenses as well to identifying hotspots. So if we look in the volume side, we can see that regarding, vegetables, it's clear that we can focus on tomatoes, on potatoes, and bell peppers. However, when we look at the nutritional impact of the different commodities, we bring another aspect. So here, pumpkins, so you see what has like the biggest nutritional content of it, brings another perspective and things in the topic. And we have done the same as well, looking into the environmental impact of the different commodities that we source. Dairy. So what we have been doing here is really working with farmers to help them reduce their losses. So in 2014, we piloted the WRI protocol that shows how to measure losses. We did that in Pakistan because it's a very complex supply chain. And there we realized that we had 1.4% of losses along the entire value chain from farm to consumer, which is much lower than the current average estimated by the Asian Bank, which is in the order of 15 to 19%. What we did also in 2017, we collected data from 30 of our markets that produce milk, and we collected the data that they are measuring of losses between farm gate and factory gate. We did that for the second time in 2008, and we were able to show the improvement that our teams are doing in the ground to help farmers to reduce the losses. We have translated those losses as well on environmental savings, so greenhouse gas emission saving, and as well on how much will be the proteins saved, by avoiding this milk being lost. In our factories, at the end of last year, we have almost 300 factories with no waste for disposal, including food waste. And what we have been doing is to put all the good practices that our team has been doing on the market, all in a guideline, so then we can share as well with the teams that have not reached zero yet. And as I said, we have a lot of employees working for Nestlé, so we are doing there different campaigns to raise awareness, to encourage them not to waste food. And what we did in our headquarters, we introduced new techniques of having small dishes for people who are not so hungry, and also we are selling after lunch the surplus of the food at a reduced price, so the employees can buy it and then enjoy it with their families later during the day. When it comes to consumer, we have been talking a lot about the importance of really engaging with younger generations. We have a program that is called Nestlé Healthier Kids. So there we have been also introducing the concept and the raising awareness on the topic of food loss and waste with younger generations. In some countries, we also have products that help consumer to prepare the leftovers, and I have put here La Cocinera in Spain. We are like a small doughs that the consumer can use with the leftover, and also we have had different applications. This is one in France where the consumer can put the leftover that they have in the fridge, and then the application provides them with a recipe. We have been doing that not only with application, but also with information on internet, and as I said, also clarifying the different type of labels that we have. In the previous session, there was key messages about the need to work together. I fully agree. We need to collaborate and have partnership to address this complex topic of food loss and waste. And we are really committed to do that. We are working not only with farmers and consumer groups, but also with our suppliers, with our customers, NGOs, government, civil society, and so on. If I could just mention perhaps one of the all organizations that we work here and are present is RAP. We have been working with them in the UK for 14 years to reduce losses and waste. And as well with RAP and WRI, we're working at the moment in Indonesia to assess the losses of milk in East Java. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm looking forward for the discussion later on.